Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Karen. So recently I completed a 30-day sugar detox and in that process healed my sugar addiction. In this video I'm sharing my experiences, how I went about it, and most importantly how you too can heal your sugar addiction. So a few months back I came across a video of Gabrielle Bernstein where she talks about how she's been off sugar for 2 years, and I thought that was so inspiring. So much so, I thought to myself, let's do a 30-day sugar detox. I was just curious what changes I would notice in myself. And so for next 30 days, I eliminated all sugar, white sugar, brown sugar, honey, and all products that have added sugar in them. Now, prior to doing this experiment, I never thought of myself as a sugar addict because I was already taking stevia, which is a natural sweetener. Aside from that, I would take brown sugar every now and then, and my only sweet craving was for tiramisu or a slice of chocolate cake, and that too only once or twice a month. And so initially I thought to myself, oh, this 30-day experiment is going to be a breeze, and boy, was I wrong. Now, prior to starting this experiment, I spent a few days researching on sugar, as in how sugar impacts our body, our mind, our mood, our gut health. All of that was quite illuminating. But one of the things that really made an impression on me was this, that when scientists looked at brain scans of people who are addicted to sugar and cocaine, they found many similarities in them. As in, the same areas of the brain light up when you consume sugar and cocaine. And I just thought that was really interesting. Now, during my research, I also read this book by Sarah Wilson, and I checked out a number of her videos on YouTube, and I'll put a link to all of them and including this book in the description below. Now, when I started my sugar detox, the first 4 days were a breeze. I thought this is going to be easy peasy. But then on the 5th day, I had an emotional breakdown. And I remember I was in so much inner turmoil and pain that all I could hear was my brain saying, I need sugar, I need sugar. And so I caved in. And I kid you not, as soon as that first teaspoon of sugar hit my tongue, it was like nirvana. It was like as if, a warm feeling of peace and comfort washed all over my body. Now, this experience startled me, but it was also an eye-opener because it was the first time that I consciously registered that I am addicted to sugar. So the very next day, I reset my sugar detox to day 0 because I realized that there was something important to be learned from this 30-day experiment. Now for me, the hardest part was coming to a realization that I was addicted to sugar. Up until then, I had only associated addiction with cocaine or hard drugs or even food. Somehow, the connection between addiction and sugar hadn't really clicked in my brain. Now, in my meditation practice, we talk a lot about how addiction gets created in our body. Like there's a whole mechanics to it, and I made a video on this topic not too long ago, and I'll put a link to that in the description below. So the essence of this video is that when we have unhealed pain, shock, trauma in our body, and we don't actively work towards healing it, that pain can outwardly manifest as addiction. Now, this could be addiction for food, for drugs, for cocaine, for sex, for power, for money, and even sugar. I mean, the list is endless. And so, my reasoning going into this experiment was that if I heal my sugar addiction, which is again a form of addiction coming from my unhealed trauma and pain, so if I heal my sugar addiction, then by reverse engineering, in a way, I am healing the cause causation of my pain and trauma. And by the end of 30 days, I did notice an overall shift in my addictive patterns and behaviors. So yes, the reverse engineering in this case did work. Now, an interesting thing happens when you get rid of all sugar from your diet. All of a sudden, you will find that you're not eating packaged food anymore. Because if you look at the ingredient list of the packaged food, or ready to eat food, you will find that almost 95% of them have some form of added sugar. It may not say sugar, but a fancy name like so. Another piece of information that made this experiment a lot less challenging was learning how insulin works in our body. So anytime you consume sugar, your insulin spikes. And as long as your body has high levels of insulin in it, you will struggle losing weight. And I think a lot of people intuitively realize that quitting sugar will help them lose weight. And for me, understanding how insulin works was like the missing gap, was the missing link. Now, in the description below, I've put a link to a few videos on explaining this insulin mechanism. So whenever you have some time, do check them out. Now, during these 30-day of experiment, I also made it a point to not overdo on fruits, because as we all know, not all fruits are created equal. So I made sure that I only ate fruit that was in low sugar content and no more than 1 to 2 fruits per day. And having this information in those initial weeks for a lifesaver, because at that time I was endeavoring to change my mouth palate. I was endeavoring to change my biochemistry. And so any information that helped me stay away from sugar was a blessing. Now, quitting sugar does not mean that you will never eat anything sweet again. In fact, there are tons of natural sweeteners that you can explore. Some of the ones that I prefer are these ones. And on this note, anytime you're buying a natural sweetener, make sure again to check the ingredient list, because a lot of times it will say 50% stevia and 50% something else. And you want to stay away from those. Now, since quitting sugar, one of the top benefits that I have noticed is that my energy levels remain consistent throughout the day. No more energy crashes in the evening or in the afternoon, so that's been a blessing. Aside from that, I have noticed that my skin texture has significantly improved. I've also noticed improvement in my overall dental health, as in my teeth feel a lot stronger and I don't get bad breath. And also my gut health has significantly improved. And for me, the greatest blessing has been that as I am healing my sugar addiction, my other addictive patterns and behaviors are also healing. A few months back when I started this experiment, quitting sugar was the last thing on my mind. In fact, it wasn't even a blip on the radar. But since being off of sugar and seeing so many positive changes, now it's become so much easier to stay away from it. And that's the beauty of the 30-day experiment. You never know what you will uncover. And so if you're contemplating doing a similar 30-day experiment, by all means do so. And let me know in the comments below how it goes for you, what you uncovered, what you learned. I always look forward to hearing from you. I hope the suggestions in this video were helpful. As always, please only take what resonates, discard the rest. Thank you so much for your time, and I will see you in the next video.